6:15 in Douala. Thanks and welcome to join me on the news. I'm Kejan Henry Atimbe. Our top stories. Secondary Education Minister Nalova Lyonga warns proprietors of private education against malpractices and widespread irregularities, noting private education sector is the most corrupt and the most conflicting sector in Cameroon. And electoral disinformation and hate speech are flooding Cameroon's social media platforms, with actors deliberately spreading fake news as political weapons. Presenting a pre-report in Yaoundé this morning, Data Collection or Data Cameroon urged collective action to curb the trend, warning it could undermine the integrity of the upcoming polls. And despite repeated forecasts of heavy rainfall, Bamenda and much of the northwest region remain gripped by dust-filled skies. Weeks of dry conditions have left residents questioning the accuracy of weather predictions and, of course, anxiously waiting for the first drop of the rain. Top stories. Welcome to join me. You can reach us on our respective platforms for consultation. We begin from the northwest region, where the people have been questioning the accuracy of weather forecast after months of dryness. And of course, despite repeated forecasts, the Bamenda, as well as much of the northwest region of the Cameroon, is gripped with dust-filled skies. Ambo Gladys Tiba reports with curls from Northwest Chief Correspondent Annie Collins.
It is the last day of August, and Elvis is surprised that in his shop at the hospital roundabout in Menda, he has to dust off the various items on the shelves at least twice a day to make them look anew. This is due to the dusty nature of the town, in sharp contrast to recent weather forecast bulletins of climatologists about heavy downpours.
It is really surprising because in the past, when you talk about the rainy seasons, we are thinking about July, we are thinking about August, where it rains almost on a daily basis. But now, it's quite, you can remember, for about more than 3 weeks now, we have not had rain. It's surprising that in August, we are having dust everywhere. The sun is shining every day, there is heat, and so on.
While many people would expect exactitude in the weather predictions, there are fluctuations in rainfall and sunshine in some parts of the northwest region.
Actually, in Bamenda, the town, but I believe that in some areas we have heavy rainfall.
I don't know whether to say we shouldn't believe in climatologists, or is that they need to go in for more research. They cause some certainties to what they have actually said. Yeah.
For one of the very rare moments, there was rainfall in Bamenda Sunday, August 31. In some parts of the regional capital, humans and animals have been sharing the few available greenery in public spaces as climate change keeps changing the whole order and lifestyle.
Thanks very much, Ambo Gladys. And we move over to the southwest region, where a truck loaded with planks from Betwa actually overturned in Buea on Monday, blocking both lanes and paralyzing traffic on that part of the town. And of course, these, as the casualties, were enormous as there is panic. Ines Ondwabala reports from Buea.
A trailer truck transporting planks from Betwa in the east region to Buea in the southwest region overturned on Benobekri Hill in Bunduma, in the city of Buea, leading to a major traffic jam as both lanes were obstructed. The driver, Amadu recounted that upon reaching the hill, amidst heavy traffic, he engaged the handbrake after stopping, only to realize it was non-functional. The trailer then rolled backwards and overturned.
I don't hold handbrake, but Tana said the motor will be advance. The handbrake, you know, the whole again. The motor starts to go back with the speed. I don't see, I'm saying, plenty more to the day for my back for 2 months. I say, no, better me, I send them for that side. I say, me, I'm not sure woman. I say, no.
Eyewitnesses describe a dramatical. Take 2. Eyewitnesses describe a dramatic scene where the truck's cabs were suspended approximately 11 meters above the road while the trailer blocked both lanes. No injuries have been reported, but the incident caused panic among road users and significant traffic congestion. Authorities are on site working to clear and obstruct the roads before restoring normal traffic flow.
Thanks very much, Ines Undwabala, Southwest Chief Correspondent. Secondary Education Minister Professor Naluva Lyonga has warned proprietors of private secondary schools against malpractices and widespread irregularities, noting that private education sector is the most corrupt and the most conflicting sector in education in Cameroon. She was speaking this Monday in Douala as she chaired a meeting with private education sector. Details with Ambo Gladys Diba.
Private education has been described as the most corrupt and conflicting sector of education in Cameroon. In Douala alone, more than 70 schools operate without government authorization, a rising phenomenon denounced by education stakeholders.
The rise of illegal schools is so rampant that we don't know what is happening. The education milieu is a clean milieu that corruption should not be missed. But what do we see? A lot of corruption in the education milieu. Corruption, the children to be admitted, corrupted, for you to have papers at the level of the regions, at times, bottlenecks, you must give this and give that.
We are going to lock up the schools. When we lock them up, you open them. We don't know who opens them. Somebody needs to tell me that I close a school and my closest collaborator who is working with the governor will go and ask the school to operate, knowing that the school is illegal.
While referring to the private education sector as government's partner, the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Naluva Lyonga, urged school proprietors and principals in a meeting in Douala, September 1, 2025, to protect Cameroon's education while calling his close collaborators to order.
The government has said, please go ahead with education. Why are you not going ahead with education in an enlightened manner? Where is the problem? And I think that those who have excellent schools, and I mean excellent, the real excellent schools are coming from you. Those of you who have that status must make it a point to protect Cameroon's education.
Authorities have therefore introduced a unique matricle system for all students as part of efforts to resolve some of the private education problems. The Digital Identification Initiative is expected to help eliminate student impersonation, combat unauthorized schools, secure examination fees, and provide real-time education data.
That unique number is very, very important. It's very, very important in our country and in our context today, because the insecurity, you don't know who is who.
The discussions also touched on deeper issues plaguing the private education sector. These include poor infrastructure, the growing problem of drug abuse among students, and lax security on school campuses.
And more on education in Fumba this time. Back to school fever is actually deemed by economic hardship, from deserted market stalls to delayed uniform orders. Families are struggling to prepare, yet they are very much determined to educate their children despite the odds.
As the new school year approaches, Fumba's markets are filled with vendors offering essential school items, backpacks, textbooks, notebooks, and pens. From the historic Bamon Royal Palace to the Central Mosque Esplanade, the cities exalts the academic ambience. Despite the festive display, many traders report sluggish sales, attributing it to economic challenges faced by families. We know with the reopening just around the corner, parents will start coming around. But for now, a few parents are coming, but it's still slow. I sell bags, I sell all back-to-school gadgets. Tellers have completed school uniforms, yet demand remains low, reflecting the broader financial strain on households. Work is really slow. The effervescence is not felt as compared to last year. We don't have work. At the nearby school, staff engage in thorough cleaning, ensuring a hygienic environment for returning students. Parents are diligently registering their children despite financial constraints, the C, emphasizing the community's commitment to education.
We want people to come and buy from us, and we are selling very, very cheap. It's not expensive.
With the school year set to commence on Monday, September 8, families in Fumba navigate economic hurdles, united by the shared goal of educating their children.
And barely a month to go for the presidential poll, All Behind Bia's movement has stormed the political scene, launching activities in Minta in the Upper Senegal division of the country. And of course, they are vowed to counter hate speech during this electoral period. Details with Beatrice Ngamo.
According to Data Cameroon, political actors and supporters of different candidates for the upcoming presidential election are animating the social media platforms with rising electoral disinformation and hate speech. With 43.9% of the population currently using the internet, compared to 11% in 2024, the researchers in presenting the pre-report on the phenomenon say the result is a fruit of a qualitative, quantitative and holistic approach in different platforms like Facebook, the most used in Cameroon, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp and others, with particular attention on pages and accounts with more than 5,000 followers closely reviewed and analyzed. With more than 54 pages observed, 19 online groups, more than 900 screenshots from individual pages, over 1,000 information links consulted. Data Cameroon decries the high prevailing fake news, rumors, out-of-context publications, manipulation of figures and propaganda on the presidential election. The presentation this Monday, September 1st, 2025, was an occasion to also unveil the My Data Check platform, a tool to verify and fact-check information in the different online social networks, especially during this sensitive period.
Thanks very much, Hassan Church. Of course, sorry for that mix-up. Hassan reporting on the data that's collected. Now we move over to the Upper Senegal division, where barely a month, the Behind Bia's movement has actually stormed the political scene. And of course, they have launched activities in Minta in the Upper Senegal division. They have vowed to make sure they counter hate and denigration against the head of state, and of course, rallying support for his re-election. Details with Beatrice Ngamo.
The ceremonial grounds of Minta was the epicenter of the event, raising awareness against hate speech and tarnishing messages against Paul Biya. We have all come to realize that our president, Paul Biya, is today victim of a mass denigration campaign on the social media. Vast this information campaign against the President of the Republic. Awareness Caravan received a warm welcome from the population, who openly expressed their support through chants and dance steps. Beyond this, the initiative carries a bigger objective, ensuring his re-election in the October 12th race. The only way to thank President Paul Biya is to assure if we have our voters' cards. Yes, is to assure if I have my voters' cards. Yes, I have. To manifest this love is that next 12 October, they should ensure they vote Paul Biya. It is true that they can really say they love him. The ceremony later transformed into a civic march that culminated at the esplanade of the Minta Subdivisional Office, where a motion of support for Paul Biya was read and handed. Momentum spread beyond Minta. On the return journey, the caravan made a major stop at Mbanjok. There, flyers were distributed, followed by a short tour through the town. The day's activities ended in a festive atmosphere as the fanfare led jubilant crowds in songs and celebrations, marking the official kickoff of the movement's campaign in the Central region.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Nkamo. And 12 educators from 4 institutions have sharpened their skills. We are talking about teaching skills during a 3-day training at the Global Language Center. This has been organized by the British Language or British Council, and so it helps to equip English language teachers with the necessary regiment, especially at the digital age. Morindi.
For the past 3 days, scholars have convened at the Global Language Center to enhance their proficiency in teaching the English language testing system. This intensive training, organized by the British Language Center in collaboration with its partners, brought together 12 teachers from different institutions.
We are here today to conclude 3 days of training for IELTS teachers in Cameroon. This training has been organized by the British Council, hosted by the Global Language Center. During the 3 days, we trained IELTS teachers from our partner organizations in Cameroon, and we had a total of 12 teachers coming from 4 different partners. And for us, it is a way to support our partners in the IELTS partnership program, build the teachers' capacity to be able to train those who want to take the IELTS test to improve on their competencies, improve on their capacities, and as
the program focused on equipping participants with effective strategies.
With the British policy, the teachers need continuous professional development so that they keep abreast with the latest trends in the teaching of IELTS. So it's not like everybody teaches, but very few are expert teachers. And the expert teachers come from the British Council and Cambridge.
According to the CEO of Global Language Center, the training ensures that educators remain updated with current trends and methodologies, enabling them to deliver high-quality instruction that meets the evolving needs of learners.
That they came to the Global Language Center. The Global Language Center, for one thing, we are focused on quality, and the British Council is also focused on quality. And if they bring all their examiners here, for those who know how meticulous the British are, it means they have found some quality in here.
We're looking at different games that could be used. We looked at one of the games was the taboo, or maybe don't tell the word. Another very important strategy we learned in reading was using underlining topic sentences.
By participating in this training, teachers are being prepared to guide their students through the complexities of the exams, ultimately contributing to improve educational outcomes.
And the Yaoundé University Teaching Hospital has launched a free training on colposcopy that integrates artificial intelligence in screening and treatment of precancerous cervical lesions. Hyacinthia reports.
Cervical cancer is the second deadly cancer after breast in Cameroon, claiming the lives of many women, girls, whereas prevention do exist.
Aujourd'hui, le cancer du col peut être prévenu de façon efficace.
Because cervical cancer has completely disappeared in many countries in the north, the Geneva University Hospital and the Yaoundé University Teaching Hospital, CHU, launched this veritable crusade against this devastating scourge, whose care is very expensive once at the cancer stage. We have enough time now to detect pre-cancerous lesions, not yet cancer, treat it in order to avoid this cancer. The challenge today is for the patients to not reach cancer stage, need to use AI to reach out to maximum of patients. In one visit, they conduct a diagnosis. We test, sort, and treat to assure the pre-cancerous lesion does not become cancer. The microscopes and all that goes with it is connected in a digital manner for the specialists in Swiss to read like them here in Yaoundé to get a good diagnosis with the help of artificial intelligence. The 3-day training is done in Yaoundé and also online. Some 60 candidates have registered for the course, which is both practical and theoretical, a training of trainer session. Opened here by the Minister of State for Higher Education, Jacques Famdongo, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Yaoundé University.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Ngamo, and you're drawing the cuttings for this edition of the 6:15. We thank you for being there with us. Lee Pijo is just right ahead with the brief, the actuality. Don't go away. Goodbye.